What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and now we have rising stars in the game. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these cards that are available. Pretty much for us, I would probably go ahead and gauge it so that we understand that we probably shouldn't be using 3,800 training to get these cards because their value is not going to be too high. So instead, we should be lurking these because 89 overall is 3,600 training. So we should probably be lurking it for the lower values because now we have several different things. We have the veterans, we have the heavyweights, flashbacks, and now rising stars. Now, the interesting thing about these cards, some of them are actually good. Derwin James can be a suitable strong safety for you if you don't have Taylor Mays. The reasoning behind it is Taylor Mays, when he's chemmed up with a theme team, he goes to 95 speed. So that's ridiculous already in the game. So if you were looking for like the best, he's not the best guy, but he's somebody that's pretty decent. All right, so we're going to take a look at some of these cards right now. You got Courtland Sutton, wide receiver physical. Like I told you guys before, with the physical receivers, they're pretty much trash in the game because they don't get the right things because they need a certain amount of deep route running to get that deep out elite. Now, if you're new to Madden 21, what happened in Madden 20 when, you know, people were running around, they coined the phrase Gmia streak. Pretty much dudes were getting mossed uncontrollably. So what EA Sports did was they switched up streak specialists and they broke it down into several groups. Deep out elite, deep in elite, medium out elite. Like they separated it. So pretty much what you would need to accomplish with the abilities would be the deep out elite because that's outside the numbers. If you prefer to play bunch and you throw the ball inside the numbers, you'd want to go with deep in elite. These players with this archetype, unfortunately, cannot get those abilities unless they achieve a 90 deep route run. So he's useless to me. I don't know if you're going to use him or whatever, and maybe, you know, he works out for you. Plus, EA is adding a lot of tuning to other things within the game that, you know, pretty much is just happening and they're not really explaining it to us. So the game has changed a lot. I would not recommend it. You know, obviously he goes to 89 speed. If you have a theme team, you know, he has a power up. You see the symbol on the bottom right of his card. So you would be able to successfully get him up to about like 92, 93 speed, depending on the theme team, with sprinter and whatever else you wanted to do. But for me, he would not meet the criteria. And the reason that I'm giving you guys this information is because I get a ton of questions asking about, you know, what do I look for in these players? What am I going after? Well, they have to meet certain type of criteria. Okay, like if they don't have the right speed, if they don't have the right abilities, they're useless because you can't do anything with them in the game because EA has made us rely so heavily on those things. So you just have to be smarter with it. James Conner, he does not have a power-up symbol on the bottom right of his card. So he is another guy that's going to be useless unless you have a Steelers theme team. Now, if you have a Steelers theme team and he gets to 89 speed, you look at that 86 truck, that's enough for him to be able to truck some dudes and keep moving. But overall, the card is useless. So what's going to happen is the value of these cards are going to, you know, continue to decline, and you may be able to snipe it over and over again for 3,600. Okay, so you're going to look out for these various cards because that's the good thing about when they start, you know, releasing different variations of programs. All of you guys that have been starving for training can now start to lurk different variations of it. Because a lot of these cards for most of us are not going to be valuable cards. And because of that, the market will continue to decline because everybody that either completes it or pulls it can't sell it for that much. That's why you see, you know, it's 99K and it's an 89 overall card because nobody's really seeing any value in these cards. All right, so let's continue to go through. Now, this guy right here, Sean Murphy, this dude's a monster. Now, he does not have a power-up, which is aggravating me. Because, and also he's a Buccaneer, which is also aggravating me, but that's neither here nor there. If he had a power up, dude, like this dude, like, look, bro, I can't even get the words out because that 92 speed would go to 93 plus 2 with sprinter plus another 2. You see what I'm saying? Like he would be a monster at 6 feet. Outrageous, bro. Now his zone coverage is 83. That's pretty low tier. Man coverage is pretty decent, but I can't use him on my 49er theme team because he's not worth it for me. You know, just to add sprinter to him to get him to 94 speed doesn't really matter. My Deion Sanders is about 97. Nnamdi is 94, but Nnamdi's also 6'3" with higher man and zone. So, you know, this is going to be one of those glitchy cards later in the year if you guys push for him to get a power up. This is an unbelievable card, dude, because he has the height and he has the speed. Unfortunately, if you're not a Tampa Bay Buccaneer theme team, you can't really do much with him. But this is one of my favorite cards that they released. This card is unbelievable right here. You know, he's going to definitely stay with everybody in the game. and be able to run up and down the field and do whatever he wants. So that's something that I wanted to point out with you guys, just to kind of give you guys some insight into that. Now we're going to check out the right tackle. There should be a right tackle here somewhere. There he is right there, Orlando Brown. Now, this card is pretty decent. Okay, if you look at his numbers and everything, he's pretty decent overall. But can he make the squad? He can't. Like, bro, listen, dog, you suck. Like, it's not even that he sucks. Like, he has a power-up, so you can do some stuff with him. But he's not going to meet my criteria because he's not a 49er. And, like, the boost, I would have to go, to another theme team to get that popping. But, again, when I say he sucks, I'm just joking because that 88 run block is definitely going to put somebody on their back. All right? Run block power, he looks pretty decent with that. He's an overall decent right tackle. But if you, right now, because we're so focused on theme teams, he can't work for us. So we're just like, yo, we don't care about you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't add anything for us, so we're not worried about him at this time. And that's pretty much what it is. But if you're looking to just build your team, he's a perfect right tackle. And like I said, all these numbers across the board, when you start to boost them up, even though the boosts theoretically don't mean anything, because if it's not right here on the base card, it doesn't really change the way the cards play. These numbers, just standard in this card is unbelievable at the right tackle. I just had to make a couple jokes so get you guys riled up. Because, I'm 49er theme team, so I can't really deal with these guys, and I'm kind of jealous that his numbers are like that. Because if you look at my right tackle, he's not really, I don't think he really has those numbers. My man McGlinchey, like, dude, look, a 90 strength. Like, bro, I'm jealous, dude. Like, I got to say the dude's garbage. That dude, this dude he would tear up, bro. Hey, when I run stretch to the right, this dude will go crazy, dude. Like, he literally will go crazy on somebody. So, like, again, I got to make fun of him or whatever, but he is a good card, just all jokes. Now, we're going to go down to Derwin James. All right. Now, like I said before, Derwin James gets a power up. He's the only guy that I know that's injured that keeps getting mad love. Like, the dude just keeps getting love, dude. Every year, you Charger fans have to be like, yo, bro, can you stay healthy for 2 minutes? Like, this dude is always hurt. But this card is actually really, really good. The 87 zone, and he has a power up. Obviously, EA loves him. He had the Derwin versus the world going on and all that crap. So they actually love him. Those numbers are ridiculous. Just so that we're straight up and clear with it. If I didn't have Taylor Mays, he would be right there because he powers up to a 90. I would get him to a 92 speed, and that would be all I would be able to have at that time. But because Taylor Mays goes to a 95 speed, I have no use for this guy. This guy cannot see my field, dude. Like, he just cannot see it. Like, bro, you are done, bro. But again, 6'2", big body, ready to go right now. Where's your mom's at? Let's go. Obviously, his tackle is very low. That's unusual, too, that they give him such low tackling, because when he is healthy and he's out there, he does a pretty good job, in my opinion, going out there, laying those big hits down and tackling and doing his thing. But I guess EA Sports has to kind of not give him all the love. So that's, pretty much explains that right there. So with the way that his card is, I would, if I was building a team and I could not afford Taylor Mays, I would actually get this card. And he probably, for the most part, this is where the separation comes in, right? He's 6'2", but they have an animation in the game where you'll jump, like you'll be trailing, and you'll jump to pick it, and it'll drop right through your neck, and the guy will catch it. It doesn't really matter about the height, but the thing that Taylor Mays adds for me, and I know a lot of you guys can, co-sign this, he's so fast that EA gives a boost when you click onto your defense. It's been going on for like 3 or 4 years, and they won't fix it. But when he gets that speed boost, he's right there. So Taylor Mays actually can outrun the player that he's trailing because he's so fast, even if they get a step. This guy with 92 speed probably won't be able to do that. But again, as you're building your team, you have to have other avenues which you can travel to kind of figure out what you can do to build your team. So those are all the 5 right there. James Conner, Courtland Sutton. You got Sean Murphy, you got Orlando over here with the right tackle, and then obviously you have Derwin James over there. So, this is really, really good. Again, I would not use training for it because using training kind of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do. It doesn't really make much sense. So I would kind of avoid that. But again, I think that they're very decent cards that you could probably work some things with and, see what you can build with it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you don't really know what's going to be coming next, what other cards are going to be there. And those cards are cost efficient for you to kind of test it out. Just test the waters. But don't go too crazy and start using training in that amount when you can be boosting your team.
Okay, so just a quick snippet into what we've been doing over the last couple videos. You can check out and see what's happening here. Okay, 49er, 50 of 50. Sprinter, 40 of 40. And yeah, I'm using balanced O, and I'm using lockdown on defense. And the balanced O boosts everybody on my team so ridiculously. I'm going to try to get that to 50 of 50. But again, these are just some of the things that you can be using your training for. So that's what I would recommend that you guys start doing instead of going the other route and, you know, investing in something that's so minimal with the price when you go sell it, which we saw some 99Ks and stuff like that there. So let me know which Rising Star you think is the best one, which one's sick. Leave it in the comments. Let's talk about it. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.